You're next. You ready?
Oh, yeah.
It will kill.
The ultimate Forged in Fire matchup.
You are the Forged in Fire champion.
2 champion blades in a deadly weapon showdown.
It will kill.
20 blades, 20 champions. You decide the winner. Forged in Fire madness.
The Zande spear.
My name is Drew Goodson. I'm 18 years old, and I study mechanical engineering at Louisiana Tech. I've noticed that Doug likes recurved blades. I don't know if that's how he likes his women curvy, but my grandmother has totally got a crush on him, especially when he says it will kill.
One of the deadliest weapons used by the Zande tribes of Central Africa, the Zande spear was used for fighting as well as for hunting. Known throughout history as conquering warriors, the Zande exhibited unmatched skills on the battlefield. Affixed to a wooden shaft, the spear was suitable for throwing and attacking from long distances, but its thrusting ability made it just as effective as a close combat weapon. The sharp upper and lower tines and multiple spikes inflicted deadly wounds both upon entry and exit from the victim's body. The Zande's lethal use of the spear can be seen highlighted in the game, Deadliest Warrior.
The Boar spear.
My name's Alan Newberry. I've been making knives for about 9 years. I am a stay-at-home dad / custom knife maker.
Developed as early as 700 AD in Europe, the boar spear was forged for both combat and hunting. Known at the time as a bar spear, the weapon was about 5 to 6 feet long and featured a pair of lugs below the leaf-shaped blade. When hunting, the lugs would stop a speared boar from running up the length of the weapon and attacking the user. In combat, the lugs could be used to hook and pull away enemy shields. The blade of the spear could be decorated, with some featuring finely engraved scenes of hunts. On the first season of Game of Thrones, King Robert Baratheon carried a boar spear on his final boar hunt.
All I want to do today is get the blade forged out. So I've got a piece of 1080 forged steel. It's not quite enough for what I want to do. I'm gonna have to do some creative thinking to make it work. I've taken that 20-inch piece of steel, and just by doing that much, drawn it to over 21 inches. I want to get the spearhead completely forged today. I've got marks where I'm going to cut into and stop. I'm going to bend those out and draw them back. That's a good plan. I'm going to forge weld 2 pieces of steel on either end of this because it's getting thin, and I don't want this to bend in the slightest. I know in the testing they're going to abuse my weapon, but I'm not worried about it because I know what I'm doing. I'm gonna ding myself in the head. Ow. 3, 2, 1. I'm sitting here waiting for a ping or a pop or something scraping, but I don't hear it. Just a nice little sizzle. I've got 3 hours to get this done, and I've allotted the entire day to finishing the shaft of the spear. Fitting, sharpening. Nothing big. The tang doesn't quite fit in the shaft. Why is this happening? I'm almost over the height requirement. Okay. Crisis averted. I'm all good. I don't even know what I feel right now. Okay. Not to panic. Get over. Yep. Can chill out. Okay.
I'm excited to have just made it this far and get to actually do the entire challenge. The socket is the part of the spear that you insert the shaft into. I haven't ever made a socket before, so it's a little nerve-wracking, but I'm excited to try it. I'm going to start forming a nice thin triangular shape, and then I'm going to hammer it around into a circular cone shape. Now I have to be super careful because the metal in the socket is very thin. If this metal gets too hot, it's going to just kind of melt and crumble away. All right, it looks like a socket. Hopefully it'll stay looking like a socket. Time's really crunched. I'm just really behind the 8 ball, getting the lugs on the spear shaft. Oh man. I believe my blower has just died. My forge burnt out, the engine died. Now I'm gonna have to find a replacement. There's still a lot to do. I am literally running to the store to buy another blower. Things just really are not going my way today. My forge burnt out, the engine died, had to run out and lose time. I had to get a new motor. With all these setbacks, I'm starting to be a bit worried. All right, it works. With the way things have been going today, we're coming down to the wire on time here. It could come back to bite me. Well, my vision for this is to have a nice dark pole. We'll heat it up with the torch until it turns black, and then I'm going to rub some beeswax from my own bees. The beeswax, and it'll kind of melt in there and treat the wood and give it a nice sheen. Time's still rolling. I'm going to need to use every minute to get this thing looking great. I have just sharpened the boar spear. I'm thinking it's time for a little test before I put it on the pole. My kids made this great boar. I'm ready to see this boar spear cut, slice, and stab. Feels good to me. I'm ready to see what the judges have planned.
Bladesmiths, I will take your Zande spear and deliver killing blows on this ballistics dummy. Drew, you're up first. You ready?
Let's make those intestines out-testines.
All right, let's do that. I like that.
Right now, I'm about to hear Doug say it will kill, and that's the only thing I'm here for.
To help me out today, please welcome back RJ Markaida. He will have the pleasure of wielding your Zande spear. Right, Drew, it feels very good in the hand. It lacerates deep when we thrust this into the chest cavity, into the heart, on its way out. Not only does it take some skin with it, but it also took out some ribs. Your tines right here, from the side entry, the spear went all the way through, and on its way out, it took everything that was in its path. But there is one issue. As you can see, your tip right here broke off. But other than that, this is a weapon that is deadly, and it will kill.
Thank you.
To see what kind of lethal damage your weapon can do, I will deliver lethal blows to this wild boar carcass. Alan, you're next. You ready?
Oh, yeah.
Let's do this. Well, Alan, let's talk about your blade. On the thrust, it penetrated all the way through. On the laceration on one side of your edge, boy, wow, it almost sliced all the way through. On your other edge, it lacerated through the spine. This spear, sir, will kill.
All right. Say hello to my little friend here. Today, we're going to test the overall strength and construction of your Zande spears by, well, we're going to fire them out of this cannon into this wood block wall. Now, I'm not concerned about what your spears do to the wall. I want to see how well your spears survive the wall. Drew, you're up first. Are you ready?
No.
Well, we're going to do it anyway.
Let's do it.
That worked really well, Drew. Despite the fact that you did lose a little bit of your tip in the kill test, didn't have any effect going into that block wall. Matter of fact, you sunk all the way down here. Very impressive. Your shaft is fine, nothing loosened up, nothing cracked. Your spear head is still solid. Overall, survived. Very good.
Thank you.
This is a crazy test. It's a fun test. Thrilled to see it go down. I just can't wait.
We'll see how deep it penetrates, how well it holds up. Alan, you're up. In 3, 2, 1. All right, Alan, that buried itself quite nicely. It went into about, there again, about 4 inches deep. Like the leaf shape on this. I like the fact that you hand hammered the socket. I was kind of worried when I put this in our machine that slight warp in your shaft there would bind up, but not a problem. Good job.
Thank you.
Now it's your turn. Which weapon will you choose? Forged in Fire Madness.